Guys, quick fire video. I'm gonna do a few of these. Is a Chevy Camaro better than a Dodge Challenger? Well, it depends. Depends on what you guys like, depends on what you prioritize in terms of what you want. But let me give to you some of the main reasons why I think when you get at the V8 level, a Chevy Camaro is better than a Dodge Challenger. Number one is price for the V8. And what I mean by that is you look at Chevy, when you get into the V8 level, they offer one motor for the V8 once you get up to that trim level, whereas Dodge has the RT and it has the Scat Pack. So the first thing that I actually think the Chevy Camaro is better at is the price to play the game. When you look at the Chevy Camaro just trim levels, whether you're in an LT1 or just a 1SS, you're getting the 455 horsepower motor. Whereas if you want to jump up to the big bad boy Scat Pack, you just got to make the jump to it. And when it comes to price, per dollar per V8, the Chevy Camaro wins, because with the Scat Pack, you got to jump up to a premium price tier level. Now, it's not overly crazy compared to Camaro, but when you look at it, you're going to save several $1,000s getting the Camaro. And if you're not someone who wants all of the features, functionality, everything, you can get into a very kind of base trim level Camaro for reasonably priced. That is, if you can avoid dealer markups. If you guys are someone who wants to track your car, the Camaro chassis, the Alpha chassis, is just hands down superior to the Challenger in terms of taking your car to the track. Now, the Challenger is no slouch. It is great. However, the Camaros with the V8, if you do opt to get their 1LE package, you guys will be amazed at how amazing this car handles. The Challengers handle well for their weight, but when it comes down to it, the Camaro, just how this car handles, you'll be able to beat a lot of cars out on the track with the 1LE package. If you're into, autocrossing, if you're into tracking your car, the Camaro is just superior, and it's just the way to go from that standpoint. The next component is weight. The Challenger gives you a lot more space, and guys, I can make a video on why the Challenger is better than the Camaro, because there's a lot of things the Challenger does better than the Camaro. But if you're looking at weight, you're going to save about, roughly 400 pounds-ish between the Camaro and the Challenger. So if you're just looking at a spec sheet and going, oh, well, the Scat Pack has 485 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque, the Camaro is 455 straight across. However, when you take that weight difference into account, they're very equal. What's great about the Camaro is, even though the Scat Pack has more horsepower and torque, it doesn't always feel like it from my perspective, because this motor does very well, it pulls very well, whereas the Mustang, it just doesn't have that torque factor, and so the Camaro does scratch that itch. The Challenger does put you back in your seat a little bit more, but at the end of the day, you really don't notice it a whole lot. Is the technology that's available with the Camaro. Now, Dodge, they do a great job with Uconnect. It is a little bit slow. Hopefully that's gotten faster. There's a lot of different cool things that you can do, like dyno charts and different things to show your horsepower and all of that. So from a technology standpoint, that is good. However, Chevy offers a lot of goodies when it comes to technology that you can't get in a Challenger. Now, some of this might be just a moot point for you, and I get it, because you're like, hey, just give me the big bad daddy V8, and that's what it is, and I totally understand. But with Chevy, you can get a head-up display. You can get the interior lighting. I have a performance data recorder, as you guys have seen in a lot of videos, where I can record myself shifting, running it up into the RPMs, showing how fast I'm going. And as a content creator, that is just something that I absolutely love. You have technology like in the rear view mirror on the 2SS, and I think the 3LT gets this, as well as the Z01, where you have a great visibility out the back because of your rear view mirror turns into a camera. There's a lot of just amazing technology that's packed into the Camaro. With the Challenger, you can't get interior lighting. Everybody has to do the rope interior lighting that you show at your trim levels that looks kind of ghetto. Sorry, guys. And just a lot of other things like that. But that's not what Dodge is trying to be. However, if you're someone who likes technology, I think the Camaro is better hands down. Now, if you're looking at like sound systems, the Bose is going to beat the Harman Kardon, it's going to beat the Alpine, plain and simple. I've had all systems in some form or fashion, listened to them all. The Bose is hands down just way better. If you're a manual enthusiast, hashtag save the manuals. The Camaro, they both have a Tremec transmission. I don't know the difference between the Tremecs. I really don't. Maybe they're the exact same. But if you're wanting the Challenger to shift like the Camaro, you're gonna have to maybe throw in a short throw shifter and do a couple other things. I will say the Challenger clutch is extremely stiff compared to the Camaros. The Camaros is a good in-between. I'd say the Mustang clutch was the lightest that I had a feeling of, so it was really easy to daily drive. The Challenger with the clutch, it's gonna wear out your left leg. It really is. And the throws on that car, I found if I wasn't in sport or track mode, it would kind of be a little too notchy where it would almost like catch sometimes. It still shifted great compared to the Mustang, the MT82. However, this shifter feeling is the best. And what I mean by the best, it's the cleanest in terms of not grinding or catching. It has very nice, short, concise throws. The shift knob, I almost wish the shift knob was just a touch heavier, but it just throws it into gear just so easy to downshift. One other thing that's really cool that the Challenger does not offer if you're a manual enthusiast is auto rev matching. Now, a lot of the audio enthusiasts go, oh, you know, I'm gonna heel toe downshift. Well, it's kind of nice when you have auto rev match. So that's something that the Challenger just doesn't do. And that's just something that, you know, Dodge does a good job in terms of staying core to their audience, but they don't really add a lot of things that I think could even help it. But maybe that's just the recipe to success. Hey, put the big bad Hemi in it, and then you go, but you also live and die by the Hemi at that point. So manual enthusiasts, sorry, this car's just better. You are someone who likes to customize your build. And when I mean customize your build, red seat belts, crazy, you know, SS logo embroidered on your center console, different color of SS embroidery, like seat options, seat leather options. Now you can get different leather in the Challenger, you can get several different colors, so that's probably a moot point. But as you're building out a Camaro, I honestly got overwhelmed when I first built one because of all the options they give you in terms of what you can build out. So if you're someone who likes to just go all in and just change all sorts of stuff, make it extremely custom, and with Dodge, with Jailbreak for a premium price, they offer a lot of that. However, I just found with the Camaro, I mean, there are so many options, almost overwhelming, of how to spec out your car. So if you're someone who likes to be unique and different and want to price out a whole bunch of stuff, throw a different look onto your car, you definitely can. If you are someone who likes to really not modify your car, like adding aftermarket exhaust, but let's say you want certain components to it, I've actually liked the exhaust on the Camaro better than the Challenger. I'm not someone who likes to really mess with exhaust unless I'm buying like an older car, just because, you know, there's a lot of features sometimes, like, you know, that it can turn off on your car when you change your exhaust, like all the different all the different active exhaust modes and everything. Sometimes, depending on your exhaust setup, can take that away. However, the exhaust on the Camaro, it's not as deep as Mopar's. Mopar does a really good job with just that deep, nasty, just kind of raspiness. The Camaro is really good, but what's really awesome about the Camaro is just all the cracks and pops. Let me see if I can get it to for you guys so you guys can tell. I never had my Challenger be able to do that. Never. Listen to it. And from the outside, it sounds awesome. It sounds amazing. So yeah, the exhaust, I think if you're someone who doesn't, this guy, what are you doing, my guy? This lady's so impatient. Some people are so impatient. That's all right. Just get her off the light. But yeah, I like the exhaust setup in this. It kind of has the Hot Boy Racer tune, poppiness. If you don't like that, then I wouldn't get a Camaro. It kind of does it in all modes, but if you're not into the pops, then it might not be for you. That's the great part about having a V8 or car with a lot of power. Someone cuts you off or does something stupid and you need to get around them, you're going to be able to get around them. blinded by the light here. If you're looking for a car that's a little bit more nimble, the Camaro is better for that, obviously. You know, the Camaro gets really trashed because of its size, but really it's a sports car. To be honest, I don't put the Camaro and the Challenger really in the same category. The only reason I'm giving this perspective is because I've owned both of them, and I've owned a Mustang as well. They're really not in the same category, just due to size of car. However, if you're someone who values like something that's a little bit more nimble, you know, the Challenger, if you're from an earlier time era or you've had a chance to drive a muscle car, the Challenger is the closest thing that you'll ever find to driving an old school GTO or Chevelle, or pick your car from the 70s. It literally feels and drives and operates like those cars. They're amazing, they're torque monsters, they're beautiful, but they're also kind of boats. And I don't say that in like a mean way, because I love my Challenger. It's just, if you're someone who wants something a little bit more nimble to park, maybe you're gonna daily drive, you absolutely can daily drive one of these. But if you're someone who values just kind of being able to dodge in and out of traffic, you can still do that. But like when you get into like parking or doing some of your daily stuff, it's totally doable in a Challenger, and yes, you have more space to do that. However, it's just easier in a Camaro, just because you can dip, dodge, weave, duck, all the D's, just so much easier. And that's one thing that the Mustang led me to, is just kind of a more nimble car to be able to drive in and out of. All right, guys, so those are my main things of why I think a Camaro is better than a Challenger. What did I leave off? What did I miss? Guys, there's a lot of points that I can make for the Challenger being better than the Camaro. You know, you got more size, you got that amazing Hemi torque, that feel, you got more space, you got usable back seats, you got a bigger trunk that you can fit a lot more stuff in, aka golf clubs, luggage. You know, they're very iconic, they're very amazing. You know, I think quality between the Challenger and the Dodge are on par. Mustang was lower for me. However, there are just so many things that the Challenger just does amazing as well. And I love both cars, but I try and keep it real with you guys. I try and keep it honest and give you my honest perspective. Those are the things that I think the Camaro does better than the Challenger. Let me know what I missed, guys. Have a great day. We'll catch you on the next video.